town of Burton is reached by driving south from Island Center on Vashon Highway. When you cross Judd Creek Bridge, you're only about a mile away. This stretch of road has interesting homes tucked into the trees and peekaboo views into Inner Quartermaster Harbor. Before the paving of Vashon's roads, Burton was a bustling commercial center because of its waterfront access and proximity to Tacoma. Evidence of its heyday from 1892 through 1920s remain. Renowned Northwest photographer Norman Stewart Edson lived for 48 years in this sweet cottage built in the 1890s. The stately Burton Community Church was built in 1893 for the Burton Baptist congregation. The Norway spruce tree that frames the church steeple was planted in the early 1900s. The Mark P. Waterman Masonic Lodge, number 177, was built in 1894 and currently shares its bottom floor with a retail store. Across the street, the Burton Inn originally was a private home, but has been modified for many uses over the years. Sharing this crossroads is the Harbor Mercantile. For over a century, this grocery store has provided for all the locals' needs: penny candy, ice cream, cold drinks, and dog treats. This view looking south shows the 1910 Burton Hotel building to the right. The location of the old ferry wharf was straight ahead, and the opening of Quartermaster Harbor seen in the distance. A few additions have modernized Burton: the auto repair shop, Burton coffee stand, and a remodel of the old Island Empire Telephone Company exchange building. In part 12 of this series, I shared images of Burton Peninsula, so we are going to head west instead to explore the Burton Hill area. This is the former site of Vashon College, which was founded in 1892 for, quote, coeducation and Christian instruction. Unfortunately, multiple fires destroyed all evidence of the institution, except for the parsonage, which was built in 1904. The current owners surround this historic structure with beautiful flowers throughout the seasons. The first story I'd like to share from the book Heart of Vashon is set at this lovely property on Burton Hill. Sue and Rich Wiley moved here in 1971. Our Seattle city-fied bodies had just moved into a 100-year-old farmhouse. The dream was coming true. We arrived with visions of a perfect life. Then came a knock at the door. Still tripping over boxes, we rushed to meet our neighbor. First, the door opened to a pair of rubber boots covered with blood. And then a gruff voice asked, "You like pork liver?" Timid and shocked, we answered, "Sure." The pig farmer thrust forward a large package, still warm, but welcome to the neighborhood. Another day, the piglets got loose. Trying to be a good neighbor, I offered to help. Instructions were screamed, "Grab their hind legs and throw them back over the fence." Just try that sometime. After 44 years, we are no longer city slickers, and gratefully, in Vashon style, we have caught its contagious spirit of, quote, just being neighborly. The Wiley place and two other houses just down the road were built by Thomas McNair between 1889 and 1909. McNair's own house was just the second one to be built on the island. McNair commuted by rowboat to Tacoma on weekdays, which makes our current commuting woes seem not so bad. Locals love to take walks up on Burton Hill. There are all sorts of quirky things to see, including my tree-climbing dog, and attack donkeys. Tamara Kittredge writes lovingly about her special benign neglect farm. I moved to my 4-acre farm in the 1980s and began making it my own with the energy and passion of a 27-year-old. Over the years, I've created a place called home, rendering it, shaping it, and loving it so radically to call it my own. Benign Neglect Farm. Calling it a farm is a stretch. The only animals that I have been unwittingly raising are deer, raccoons, rats, and an occasional squirrel. My garden produces lots of vegetables, fruit, and flowers, and frankly is more than enough for me to steward and share with the four-leggeds. However, I can state that the name benign neglect is apropos. Teaching elementary school on the mainland for the past 30 years has forced me to make peace with dandelions, blackberries, and ivy. This daily exile to the mainland has also given me a very deep appreciation of the safe and peaceful nature of the island. I come home to the sanctuary of Vashon and see natural beauty around me, which causes me to smile, inside and out. As you head back down the hill to the highway, you can't help but notice the action at BARC, Burton Adventure Recreation Center. Vashon Park District and the community have come together to raise money and invest hard labor in the transformation of the former Burton Elementary School site into a unique and exciting adventure park for bikers, rollerbladers, skateboarders, and frisbee golfers. The final story I want to share is mine. I feel Vashon was the perfect place for my husband and I to raise our 2 children. Like an oyster, Vashon's edges are irregular, yet well-defined, and its interior is filled with richness. Oysters have the remarkable ability to deposit layer after layer of nacre over a foreign object until a smooth and luminescent pearl is formed. Likewise, the children of this island are built up layer after layer by the nurturing mantle of this island and its citizens. Cocooned by the amniotic blue sound and cradled by the verdant richness of the temperate rainforest, our children grow and learn. A veritable wonderland of opportunities for exploration awaits them just outside their doors. Beaches, ravines, forests, and fields. As these gems grow, layers of skill and passion are added at studios for dance and art, at ball fields and gymnasiums, in schools and churches, on performance stages, or on a frozen pond. Eventually, the protective shell of Vashon opens, and these nurtured citizens roll off the rock to share their richness with the greater world. And if you look carefully as they pass by, you'll notice in their luminous beings a reflection of Vashon Island.